Okay, it's a little after 9, so the Brazos County Commissioners Court will conduct a public hearing on Tuesday, September the 19th at 9 a.m. in the Commissioners Courtroom in the County Administration Building, 200 South Texas Avenue, Suite 106. The court will hear comments on the proposed budget for the fiscal year ending September 30, 2024. All interested parties are invited to attend the said hearing and present their cause, if any, for or against the proposed budget. This budget will raise more total property taxes than last year's budget by the amount of $15,641,538, which is a 16.49% increase in last year's budget. The property tax revenue to be raised from the property added to the new tax rolls is $3,783,609. The proposed budget is filed in the county clerk and will remain on file in the office of the county clerk in accordance with existing state statutes. All interested parties are urged to acquaint themselves with said budget during the time it remains with the county clerk. For your convenience, the proposed budget is also placed on the county website, and that's the URL for that located. So we've got two public hearings this morning, one at 9 o'clock and then one at 9:15. If you want to speak at either or both, you need to fill out a form to be able to speak. And I know Karen's was having a little trouble making sure that everybody got signed in, and that anybody that wanted to speak gets to fill out a form. So.
Is anybody not signed in at the 9 o'clock or do the speaker form for the 9 o'clock?
Okay. So we will begin by asking the public to come up. Kimberly Galland.
Kimberly Galland. Thank you. I'm not really well prepared for this because I've just started reviewing these documents in the past week, and I spoke with Katie once on the phone to try to clarify why some of the reports, the fund balances don't match. But what I've noticed when I've looked at the actual expenses versus, the actual income versus the expenses, is that every year Brazos County is accumulating a large overage. For instance, at the end of 22, it was 36 million, the end of 21, 31 million, the end of 22, 12 million. But basically, over the last 10 years, that cumulative amount is 165 million. And when you actually look at the estimated unreserved fund balance for the end of this fiscal year, it's showing that there will be a $57 million unreserved and unrestricted fund balance. So in my mind, that is income that has not been spent or allocated to anything on the budget. And what I'm trying to figure out is why we're continuing to see tax rates increase when every year you're budgeting more money than you need to spend, and why that money is not coming back to taxpayers. One thing I do have a question about too is, I don't know what the difference is between anticipated, but on your budget that's posted online, it shows that the anticipated unreserved is 77 million, which is quite a bit higher. So I really feel like there needs to be more accountability in the budget, and that maybe this excess money needs to be looked at in tax reduction and not earmarked for future projects that have not even been started. Thank you.
Okay. Jody Quimby.
Jody Quimby, 4686 River Garden Court. Appreciate the opportunity to offer an opinion. A budget item that you have is indicated to purchase new voting equipment, and understand that amount is over $1 million for new equipment. Understand that's required by this Senate bill that passed this one of these last sessions, Senate Bill 924. I discussed this with Commissioner Conderly yesterday, me and other citizens, among other things, and I provided some information I found on that, and I hope that you'll take a look at that. Hope, Commissioner, you'd share that with the judge and the other commissioners. As I understand, this bill requires additional vote centers for counties that use countywide voting. Okay, I think that's pretty clear in what was done. So for Brazos County, I'm understanding that could mean maybe twice as many vote centers as we have now. I'm not sure about that. But more vote centers means more voting equipment, which is what's on the budget right now. That bill also raised the limit for how many registered voters could be served by a combined precinct vote center, not countywide vote center, but a combined precinct vote center, which it raised it from 5,000 to 10,000, okay? So just briefly here, with these conditions in mind, I'm asking you to consider going back to precinct-based voting, not individual precincts, but a combined precinct style of voting, where we hopefully can use our existing vote centers and not have to buy new equipment, not have to find all these new locations, all the fuss involved with hiring other people and gathering them up. If this is possible, this additional equipment will not be necessary. Neither would all the fuss, as I mentioned, would be necessary. And you could come out a hero, okay? So please seriously consider going back to precinct-based voting, which would be the groups of precincts at one location, which is allowed by the election code. So please take a look at that, and reducing the budget by $1 million, hey, that helps the tax rate, okay? So we'd appreciate your serious consideration of that. Okay. And as I understand, this requirement doesn't come into play until next November. I think that is probably right. So you got time to deal with that between now and then. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Jody. Cynthia Wiley.
Cynthia Wiley. Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. I will do my best to limit this to budget because I also have tax rate concerns. When we voted you guys in, we had expectations that you guys would be fiscally responsible with our money. I'm not sure anybody in this audience would feel very confident, given looking at this budget. There's $117,068,184 unassigned monies in the 21 to 22 budget. There's $97,031,460 in unassigned for the 22 to 23 budget. And then apparently there's a $21 million quote-unquote surplus for the 2023 budget. So I ran a business. You have money coming in, you got money going out, what's left over is profit. So when we look at this budget, just from a very a simple kind of mindset, you see that there's a lot of excess money that's sitting, our money is sitting there. Now, I know that you don't want to overburden your citizens, but I think there's kind of there's a feeling that we've been overburdened with taxation in all aspects, not just property, but in general. There is financial sustainability that you guys are obligated to comply with. But there's also, we have financial sustainability as individual private citizens that we have to be honorable with our families. And we are dealing with inflation, and everything has gone up. And on top of that, you want to add on more burden for us. And I think that is just, I think it's an unwise choice at this time in our society to do that. And you can look at the budget and you can just see that there's just a lot of excess money sitting there. I know you guys have a lot of pet projects that you want to get done, but so do we. But mostly we want to just supply food, medicines, water, energy sources for our individual families. And I think, this is my personal opinion, but I feel our property taxes are an invisible chain that just is a ball to carry, and it's overburdening for us. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Shauna Cox.
Hello, Shauna Cox. I do want to say thank you for serving. I wasn't prepared to come and speak on the budget. I was here for tax rate, but I feel like it's important to be here and speak on that as well. I would like to read something. Brazos County Commissioners approved pay raises Tuesday for 18 elected officials. With no discussion, the unanimous vote shares a total of $81,000. I'm just not doing the cents. The largest raise goes to the sheriff at almost $6,000. The county judge and the county attorney get a raise of just over $5,000. The raises for the county treasurer and tax assessor are just over $4,000. 12 other elected officials, including the 4 county commissioners, received raises of just under $4,000. So as we're speaking of the budget, it's interesting to me that you just received raises. I know my husband would love to have a raise as well. I think he actually did get one. That's nothing on y'all. But according to the budget material, Brazos County would be able to fund all of its actual expenses and generate a surplus of $3 million without raising taxes, without adjusting the budget. And so I'm just asking y'all, like I did last year, to tighten your budget just like we tighten ours at home. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And that's all the public that have signed up for the 9 o'clock. I don't know whether anybody wants to make any comments. Or we can do the, can close this one and do the 9:15, which is coming up. So we'll close this public hearing. And are y'all ready now for the